The NFL world is buzzing, and at the center of the storm is Shadur Sanders, a quarterback who dominated in college, electrified fans with his arm and composure, and entered the draft with all the tools to become a star. Yet somehow, unbelievably, he slid further down the board than anyone expected. Steve Harvey, never one to mince words, made it clear on his podcast with Ryan Clark. The way Sanders has been treated isn't just unfortunate, it's outrageous. Harvey didn't stop there. He turned his fury toward the Cleveland Browns, the franchise that picked Sanders but now seems determined to bury him. According to Harvey, the Browns are not preparing Sanders to succeed. In fact, he accuses the organization of deliberately holding him back, keeping him on the bench with the intention of trading him away. In Harvey's view, this isn't incompetence, it's sabotage. And if that's true, Cleveland is on the verge of wasting one of the most promising quarterback prospects to emerge in years. Harvey pointed to what he called a deliberate setup. He described watching Sanders in his early games where the young quarterback looked every bit like the real deal. But then, suddenly, he was surrounded by an offensive line that had no business protecting anyone. As Harvey put it, they put 4 or 5 linemen in the game that had never played football. Not PAL, not organized ball, nothing. The result? Sanders was sacked endlessly, the offense collapsed, and the blame fell squarely on him. None of those linemen are even on the roster today. A fact Harvey argues proves his point. Sanders was being set up to fail. It's hard to ignore the parallels. The Browns' offensive line in that preseason game is gone. Sanders is left bruised and criticized, while the team scrambles to find stability. And Harvey asks the obvious question. If those players weren't good enough to stick, why were they put out there in the first place to protect a rookie quarterback? His conclusion is chilling, that the Browns are sabotaging Sanders before he ever gets the chance to show what he can truly do. The frustration doesn't stop with Sanders. Dillon Gabriel, another young quarterback, has been thrust into the spotlight, but Harvey warns that this too is a disaster waiting to happen. Gabriel has talent, but he's untested against NFL juggernauts like the Steelers and Ravens. Harvey insists that when the Wolves come, Gabriel will be overwhelmed. That pressure isn't just unfair, it's dangerous, because it sets the stage for another quarterback to be chewed up and spit out by the league. Then there's Joe Flacco. The veteran is a bridge, nothing more. And even Harvey admits the obvious. Flacco's days as a reliable starter are behind him. At 40, he simply can't move the way the game now demands. Sooner or later, he's going to get hurt, and when that happens, Cleveland's entire quarterback plan will be exposed as smoke and mirrors. For Harvey, this isn't just about football. It's about decades of heartbreak. He recalls vividly sitting with his father in 1964, watching the Browns win the championship. He was just 7 years old. That was the last time Cleveland touched glory. Since then, it's been nothing but false dawns and shattered hopes. Harvey, now 68, sees the same mistakes repeating. A franchise too blind or too stubborn to recognize the gift it has in front of it. His anger is the anger of a fan who has given his life to a team that never seems to learn, and Harvey isn't alone. Mary Kay Cabot, long a supporter of Kevin Stefanski, has publicly turned against the head coach's offensive decisions. She points to a lack of preparation. A failure to build chemistry between Flacco and his receivers Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman, and a preseason plan that left the offense flat-footed. Her criticism cuts deep because she has been one of Stefanski's defenders in the past, but now even she admits the offense looks broken beyond repair. Ken Carman has been equally blunt. He argues that the Browns system itself is the problem. No quarterback, not Flacco, not Gabriel, not Sanders, can thrive under Stefanski's current setup. The scheme is suffocating, predictable, and poorly executed. Carman's warning is stark. Unless something changes dramatically, Stefanski will be held responsible for the mounting losses. Injecting young talent might bring a spark, but without a better system, even that spark will die out. So where does that leave Sanders? Stuck in limbo, waiting for an opportunity that may never come. Fans can see it, analysts can see it, and now, thanks to Harvey, the whole nation is watching. The Browns are at risk of becoming the story yet again, the team that squandered a quarterback who could have changed their fortunes. This is bigger than one player. Sanders' situation has become a symbol of everything wrong with Cleveland's approach to quarterbacks. The lack of development, the poor preparation, the reliance on veterans past their prime, it's all part of the same destructive cycle. And once more, the Browns stand on the brink of losing not just games, but the trust of their fans. The irony is crushing. Cleveland drafted Sanders, but instead of nurturing him, they've trapped him in a system designed to fail. If Harvey's prediction comes true, and Sanders is traded, the Browns could watch him flourish elsewhere while they sink deeper into mediocrity. Imagine Sanders lighting up defenses in Miami, while Cleveland continues to stumble. The thought alone is enough to haunt a fan base that's been haunted for 60 years. Right now, the NFL's eyes are locked on Cleveland. The way they handle Shadur Sanders will define not just this season, but the direction of the franchise for years. Will they embrace the future and give their young star the reins? Or will they cling to old habits, smothering potential in favor of short-term patches and questionable decisions? Steve Harvey's voice has amplified this debate, turning it into a national conversation. His words echo the pain of every Browns fan who's waited decade after decade for real change. And his warning is clear. Keep playing these games with Shadur Sanders, and the Browns will pay a heavy price. So the question is yours now. Do you agree with Harvey that Cleveland is deliberately sabotaging Sanders? Is Dylan Gabriel being set up for failure under impossible expectations? Or is the real culprit the offensive system itself, a scheme so broken that no quarterback could survive it? And how much longer can Kevin Stefanski avoid accountability before the franchise finally admits it's heading in the wrong direction? The Browns' future hangs in the balance, and one decision could change everything. What do you think? Should Shadur Sanders stay and fight, or should he demand a trade before Cleveland wastes his career? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next big story shaking the NFL.